Warning, warning. Two idiots are looking real disgusting. Please cover your eyes and await further instructions.
Hello and welcome back to Discovering SCP. You know me, it's Tan Hani, and this, my friend, is Darnell too.
Actually,
I know what you're thinking. Who?
I'm Alan Wake. Nice to meet you. I'm a writer. Yeah, my wife's afraid of the dark, and I love Barry.
Barry.
Those are all of Alan Wake's defining character traits in the hit game Alan Wake.
And he can't write.
Yeah. He's all like, oh, I have writer's block. It's like, just shut up and do it, bitch. Jesus. It's like, Jesus. Am I right? See, Tan's silent because he feels attacked now.
I do actually a little bit.
I didn't mean to attack your writer sensibility.
I'll add it to the list.
Anyway, I heard that you have something special planned this time around.
Who told you that?
You did, right before I hit record.
Well, we last couple episodes we check out new ones, but I want to get back into like something big.
Yeah, we're gonna this episode. We're gonna read the old SCP. So we're gonna
start
with the first one.
Site, no.
Oh God, fuck you! No, we are not doing that. If you did that, I would straight up tap out of the podcast.
You'd say no.
Yeah, I'd be like, no.
Then I have to get a new Darnell in.
Yeah, you'd have to. I wouldn't read. I refuse. Everyone hypes up how long it is. I've seen the word count number. I'm not doing that for an SCP. No way.
We already read a bit of it anyway, so we might as well. We pretty much just read it all.
You actually want me to read Ouroboros?
No, I'm joking.
Okay, I was like getting heated.
What we have here is SCP-6820. This is called Termination Attempt by Dr. Placeholder.
You wouldn't terminate me, would you? Also, we've had Placeholder on, haven't we? Hell yeah. Oh, this is episode 1, Termination Attempt. He's writing with Alan Wake rules.
Previously on Admonition.
Alright, hold on. I'm gonna hit... Wait.
This is also really reliant on the Alan Wake playthrough that hasn't come out yet.
So I hit view accessibility mode, but I didn't realize there's actually an article underneath the first page as it is.
Yeah.
So I went back. Anyway, this looks pretty interesting so far. Very pretty.
A fancy fucking page.
Alright. So, I guess you start me off, and you're gonna have to tell me what to click on this one.
Absolutely.
No, is accessibility mode just a version where it's like a lighter, so it's like less dark?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. I thought it was like the next sequence.
No, don't worry.
Oh, that's...
I was wondering. I was like thinking, like, what the fuck is he talking about? What's it called?
Doctor Placeholder. How thoughtful. That's nice.
Let's get into it. Notice from the Records and Information Security Administration.
Is this RISA?
Yeah, RISA. The following documents were received from alternate timeline AU-6820 per Statement 3.1 of the 1981 Multi-Foundation Coalition Agreement, which stipulates that, in the case of an irreparable XK class event or similar, relevant files should be autonomously disseminated to all of assignees for cautionary purposes.
I don't know about you, but I wouldn't receive or trust any documents from Australia, regardless of which number it is.
What a story! You're always so right.
File 1 out of 2.
1 out of 2.
I don't even know what accent you were just doing.
Tommy Wiseau.
Oh.
SCP-6820. Containment class Formiel. Secondary class Drygioni. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what... Yeah, I'm already a little lost.
Disruption class Etchi. Risk class Courtian. Project... And then we have the pictures of computers. Project Anti-Kill, Primary Observation and Cross-Analysis Complex, C. 1971.
Tan, I'm going to ask you a question that will let me embarrass you. What does C stand for?
Like in general, or like in a particular context?
In this context, do you know? Because I know. I'm asking if you know.
Oh, you mean the one in the caption?
Yeah, where it's like
Century.
C19... No, circa 1971.
No.
Oh, Tan Honey. 1971 isn't a century, it's a year.
Oh. You haven't been told.
Wait, what? What are you implying?
To the Institute.
Oh, these footnotes are done really cool because they flash up at the side of the page instead of over top.
Oh, that's very nice. Very nice bit of business.
This is the best part of CSS that every article should adopt. Oh my god.
You've just created many enemies. Assigned site, Site 1, Site 2, Site 19. Project leads, 058, Foundation Special Projects Advisor, and Director Gears. Research heads, Director Gears, Various. Director Gears and...
Fucking rip Various!
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like... What was that one from a couple episodes ago? It was like Soren and Soren's best friend.
To be fair, this is super sad, but that's almost like how some scientific papers are. It's like, there's one important guy, and then there's all these other idiots. Who cares?
Assigned departments.
They wouldn't call them Various, they just put their name in small text.
Assigned departments, Various, including, but not limited to, AIAD, which is like AI, I guess.
Artificial intelligence, yeah.
Astrophysics, no clue what that fucking means. Mathematics, metaphysics, noospherics.
They need a division to do math, the thing that computers can do.
Yeah. All is weird math.
Okay.
Ontokinetics, sciences, temporal anomalies, xenobiology.
And the acromatic abatement.
I just started choking on my own existence.
By the way, is noospherics just what everyone calls the antimimetics now?
I think, like, in some canons, that's like post-antimimetics department antimimetics, so yeah.
Interesting.
Applied occultism, mimetics, and countermimetics, and quantum supermechanics sections, Site 43.
Interesting.
Special containment procedures. This is very interesting. We've already got a lot of content there before the special containment procedures.
Yeah, this is like the best. So far, this is the most neatly packed article. Like, everything's organized very well in a way that I strongly agree with. And I think looks really good. Not just the CSS, but I feel like it's structured. Even just like glancing at the special containment procedures, like the bullet points, that feels way more on point for something like this. It makes it easier to read, smoother. I'm liking it.
Special containment procedures. All files pertaining to Project Antikill has been reviewed and analysed by its assigned personnel in conjunction with the Records and Information Security Administration, the Internal Security Department, and Overseer Council. Drajani-class objects are under official investigation and authentication by the Overseer Council. I guess that's what it means. The following points of interest are under investigation. The nature of SCP-6820-A. The motives for irreversible and unnecessary decommissioning of DAS-A in opposition to standard protocol. The motives for sizable monetary and diplomatic resources spent in pursuit of neutralization of DAS-A. The motives for the formation and decades-long operation of Project Antikill. The motives for the universal and unconditional hatred of DAS-A.
So this SCP, rather than being an SCP itself, is some sort of thing created by the Foundation, which is why it's a thaw meal, because it was meant to contain, and they're trying to figure out why we were trying to fuck with Dash-A, which was whatever this was built to contain, right?
Yeah, like why we all fucking hate this thing.
Okay. It's also interesting that it's anti-kill, which implies that it wants to keep it alive, rather than neutralize it.
And then we have a picture here of SCP-6820, Section A, late-stage construction.
Wait, but not Dash-A, okay.
No.
This is a pretty cool picture. Did they, like, actually draw this or, like, render this in some Blender? It's fucking awesome. That's a really cool, high-effort placeholder. I like it.
I didn't really appreciate how big it must be. It's like some fucking cranes.
Yeah. It's like, god damn. I would just like to say this has already stepped up the expectation of all future articles. Tanhoney, if you ever throw one of your articles at me again, it has to look at least this good.
You'll have a nutritional chart and you'll be grateful for it.
Okay. You know what? You should make an SCP about the nutritional chart itself. It's like, why is this in every article?
Description. SCP-6820 is a highly classified advanced eigenweapon located within the Anti-Kill Facility A, AKF-A. A subterranean facility beneath Secure Administration Site 1. This weapon is the culmination of Project Antikill, a high-priority operation conducted with the express purpose of irreversible universal neutralization of SCP-6820-A.
So what the fuck is an eigenweapon?
That's like a paranormal, like, weird weapon.
Okay.
The project was initiated in January 1968 and operated continuously until the activation of the SCP on 2021/08/05, whereupon a CK-class reality restructuring event retroactively erased Dash-A and its noospheric content from consensus existence. The SCP has remained operational since. Preliminary investigation thus far prevents no clear method of deactivation.
So basically, this thing was created to get rid of something. We don't know what or why, and that's what they're trying to figure out.
That seems to be the case, though, yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
Dash-A was an object, entity, phenomenon, or other item, anomalous or otherwise, successfully neutralized from existence via completion and activation of the SCP. The only extant record of its conceptual reduction is likely stored, inaccessibly, within the SCP. Research is ongoing.
So I have a theory now. You know that, like, object class we weren't familiar with?
Yeah.
So we know thaumiels are an object class for things to contain things, but since this was something made to eliminate something, maybe that's what Drygiani means? Like a thaumiel that destroys something?
I think it mentioned before, so Drygiani class objects are ones that are under investigation and authentication by their Overseer Council.
Oh, I see. Okay. Never mind.
But let's get into the first addendum. The pre-proposal conference. Video transcript anti-kill 2C61. Date 2006-66. Parties present. Project Advisor 058. Project Director Charles Gears. Master Paratechnician Place HMD PhD. It's my
placeholder! I feel bad voicing Gears or Placeholder because they're like real people we've talked to. But we have to.
Exophysics Director H. Genevieve.
So what's exophysics?
I was like, let me have a look, because I don't actually know. Let me Google it. This maybe just be.
I don't even blame you for not knowing. I genuinely don't. I'm sure it is an
Exophysics
SCP word.
is the physical manifestation of a concept and their impact on reality by merely existing.
Oh, you love that shit. That's like your favorite
I just didn't know the word for it until now.
Now you know, exophysics head.
Forward. Director Genevieve gathered...
That's not how that name's pronounced.
Genevieve. Genevieve. How many more V's did I add in there?
Too many. Genevieve.
Gathered in an informal conference following that day's conclusion of Project Anti-Kill activities, hoping to introduce parties present to and gauge the feasibility of a plan of her own.
The fucked up thing is we haven't had Gears on in like a year, so I don't remember what his voice sounds like.
Well, I remember like what his character is meant to be like. I'll be Gears and 8, I guess.
Alright, I'll be a placeholder in Genevieve. I also forgot what placeholder's voice sounded like, so I'm just going to give him my generic voice. Because I don't want to offend him by doing a silly voice.
The four are seated at a black desk within Site 19's administrative offices. And you didn't think to notify the scheduling algorithm? I'm sure you're aware I have other projects to oversee.
My apologies, Advisor. It was only a few hours ago that the idea was proposed.
Respectfully, this project takes precedence. Yes, but this meeting does not, unless you've just solved our longest-standing containment crisis.
Whoa, hate's optimistic today.
Does he need to be here?
Are we trying to delay this meeting?
Whose man's is this?
So good. That has the same energy as like when you did Among Us 2, and it was like, are you kidding me? The Among Us SCP?
Silence on recording.
I thought not. Now, Overseer, I'm aware you've seen tens of thousands of termination attempts on blank-blank, and I, of course, know their collective success rate. Your skepticism is warranted, but please hear me in earnest.
Mm-hmm.
I direct the Exophysics Department, which you all well know is concerned with embodiments, manifestations of concepts within reality. An embodiment of the concept red, written in red, good touch, oh my god, would carry all of the characteristics conceptually associated with that color, such as being angry or desirable or malevolent. This is a simplified method of conceptualizing what's actually going on here. A tangible object or entity embodies a mimetic structure within the new sphere by conforming to its idealistic eidetic shape.
Placeholder nods along. 058 and Director Gears show a glance of confusion.
I gotta be honest, when it gets all in like the mind-fucky stuff of SCP, I get lost too.
Which is about to untechnobabble it.
Simply put, an embodiment is a physical item that's shaped like an idea. And given the progression of human intelligence and development over time, that shape can change. This means that if the exophysical nature of an entity is not readily apparent, it can be discerned by comparing that entity's change over time to changes in human conception in eidetic space. A correlation almost certainly indicates causation.
So, I'm assuming your department has observed such a correlation in this case.
Correct.
You must know you're not the first to suggest this. Whether or not a conceptual entity has no impact on the success of the project.
If that were true, she wouldn't have called a meeting.
058's mouth open and then closes again. Teacher resigned.
Jaw drop noise.
That's right. The only thing I can think of was like, teacher resigned. They motion for Director Genevieve.
Oh my god, Genevieve
to continue.
You've got it. Blank has grown increasingly blanked and blanked to containment and termination efforts over time, corresponding with the growth of the human intellectual capacity. Whatever concept blank embodies is extremely complex, and is so large that it can only partially intersect with the new sphere.
And if it's not native to human thought, it can be removed without risk.
The fact that this was in 2006 implies that all the events of Anti-Mem X-Division happened before 2006. As far as we understand it, just so I understand, we'll remove blank from human thought, thereby making everyone forget about it? What good will that accomplish? Oh, that's me too. You misunderstand. I am suggesting we eject the blank concept from the new sphere. If there are no minds able to comprehend a given concept, its embodiments are broken. They return to following natural law.
Meaning what exactly? They become non-anomalous? Placeholder shares a glance of Director Genevieve in apparently...
Oh my god! Alright, Jenna? Vive.
That was like an entirely new one.
Alright, now, you know the word sieve, right?
Genevieve.
Sieve, reprieve, retrieve.
Genevieve.
You got it.
Genevieve.
Better yet, they become killable. Oh, but it's Project Anti-Kill.
And transcript. Afterward,
Fuck yeah.
a new Project Anti-Kill sub-proposal has entered the drafting process, slated for express approval by administration. Loyal and relevant anti-kill personnel to be preemptively reallocated where appropriate.
I thought the end addendum would be a button.
I also clicked on it. I was like, Diana, close this. Well done. 47.
That's how impressed I am with the CSS. This is the first time I feel like CSS has like really added to an article rather than just put
Agent 47 walking into Site 19 is like, that is 0512. Good luck, 47.
Nice.
Perhaps you could cause a little containment breach, 47.
Oh my god, unironically, a Hitman level in the Foundation would be so cool. I'd play the fuck out of that. Alright.
Addendum 2. Initial sub-proposal. Project Anti-Kill. Sub-Project 13225. 2006-08-02. Director Harlow Genevieve. Astrophysics Department. You could hear the nervousness in my voice as I got closer to her name.
You're doing it. You're doing fine.
You were going to make it, bros.
I was yelling at you like Gordon Ramsay yells. I do it because I care.
Purpose. Construct an anomalous weapon capable of neutralizing abstracts. While several decades of Project Anti-Kill's termination attempts, including testing with 096, 173, 217, etc., have proven unsuccessful, they have also proven useful. We know those boys.
Yeah.
Strenuous research and cross-examination of interactions and resultant have motivated the Astrophysics Department to attempt a new approach to the projects. The creation of an anomalous weapon with the express purpose of tangibly and conceptually purging from reality.
Well, I remember 096 and 173, but what was 217?
I don't think we actually read 217. 217 is a zombie virus. No, sorry, it's a robot virus. It turns things into mechanical things.
I think we did read that then, because that sounds familiar.
I think we read that when first we did the Broken Guard, so that was a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
Methods. To ensure access to ample administrative and computational resources, as well as secrecy from relevant groups of interest, the weapon, provisionally designated AO-6820, AO, is to be housed beneath Secure Administration Site 01. This entails the excavation of over 50 million cubic meters of Earth, as expedited by anomalous technologies, which is planned to take place over an 8-month period. Once excavated, this chamber, Anti-Kill Facility A, will house the various mechanisms required for the AO-6820's operation, including...
Hold on. Take a glass, drink some water.
Sorry.
I'll take over this one, King. No. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm just saying I can tell you, like, I don't mind popcorning. I got you. Drink some water, King.
Got a nice little diagram here as well.
Anomalous, put the diagram on the screen, please, for SCP-6820.
Thank you, Anomalous.
Alright. Section A. Central Computing Node. The Central Computing Node will house a complex self-iterative neural network with two main functions, pattern recognition and reality manipulation. This artificial intelligence is to be fed all records of and termination attempts as training data. The network will be conditioned to map a target quantum informational structure Jesus Christ, this is like too many big words in a row. I'm getting like fucking 1-2 punch.
In English, Poindexter.
Yeah, that's me. I feel like that fucking shitty character in every Whedon movie. He's like, English, please? But it's like, I'm getting fucking knocked out by
breaking through the firewall, Chief!
It's like, conditioned to the quantum informational structure corresponding to the conceptual reduction. It's like, please, I can't.
What is and for the non-eggheads in the room, what does that mean?
To the conceptual reduction of Upon AO6820's activation, the node will act as an ontokinetic web crawler. Ontokinetic's like reality bending, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Interfacing with Section B to scrub all instances of conceptual structure from consensus reality. Okay, so basically all that
existence is over.
All that was big science computer sends reality bending web crawler to remove information.
Once we turn it off, you go away from reality. Turn it on. Sorry.
So I think all these parts are like different ways to remove it from reality. So this one scrubs all mentions of it from the internet. So that's part A of the anti-kill. Part B, section B, is placeholder gears ontokinetic sync. The PHGOS is designed as an enormous reality-anchoring mechanism and ontokinetic interface. It is to read the some-quantum informational content of the universe and encode it into a readable format, thereby allowing other systems to read and react to the entire state of reality. The PHGOS can and will be piloted to enact localized reality restructuring events, directly editing the narrative space-time continuum based on its source data. As such, it will interface with the central node to ensure the indefinite non-existence of blank. So basically, coding the universe so that it doesn't exist
other things
anymore.
know what to take out.
Section C, self-explanatory, is it?
Is
it? Section D, secondary computing. Additional server capacity for secondary functions. Predicted secondary functions include self-optimization, heuristic and meta-heuristic analysis, creativity simulations, blank. Alright, so far, the technobabble parts aren't too much technobabble that you can't discern what they're saying.
Yeah, what they're really saying is, this works, but it works, it doesn't, it needs to work this way.
Basically, it's a big fuck machine that erases any possibility.
If it's doing something like that, I expect a little bit of technobabble. I need a little bit.
Yeah. And then, there's nothing wrong with it. But it's basically saying, we're wiping this thing off the face of the map of the universe in like any way you can.
In 20 minutes from now, your fucking life is over.
When this thing finally boots up. Could you imagine if this thing errors out? Gets like a blue screen of death and it comes back. Section E, dual anti-fusion reactor. An isolated power source for and dependent on AO6820. What was the AO again?
AO is the main one. The AO is the whole thing, it's the weapon.
Okay. The dual-core reactor will manipulate an embedded antimatter drive... Oh, because this is before it was classified as an SCP.
Yeah.
The dual-core reactor will manipulate an embedded antimatter drive to generate high-energy fusion reactions between both matter and antimatter pairs, then neutralize them at their respective peak system activities. So basically, like, super sci-fi energy.
Yeah.
Section F, calibration towers, primary observation and diagnostic facilities for AO6820. Section G, Site 01 secure database. Section H, elevator access. So yeah, this thing is big. It has a fucking elevator in it. It's like a building size. And then there's pre-existing structures. Find attached a list of relevant departments and research personnel. Alright, are you ready to take over again?
I'm back. I'm thinking I'm back. Update 2021-0804. Subproject completed with minimal incident. How much is minimal?
Damn.
All systems operational. Preparations have been made for activation within 24 hours.
I assume minimal incident. Like, they always say that to sound scientific, but I assume it means, like, Brent spilled the coffee, so it took 5 minutes longer to get the paperwork done.
Soren's best friend was slain.
No!
The universal constant.
Shut down the Foundation for a day. We have to have a funeral for Soren's best friend.
Right, Addendum 3, investigative report.
We love Soren here.
Drajoni Protocol. Investigation 6820-A. 2021-0812. Director Charles Gears. Project Anti-Kill.
Hell yeah.
Initial findings report. Documents removed 177. Documents remaining 22,406.
That stresses me out. I would not want to be Gears. By the way, is Genevieve also like an SCPOC, or is she like original to this article? Okay.
So, items of interest. The nature of the erased subjects. I love that I did, like, we finally, like, erased whatever this thing is, and then immediately, like, what the fuck did we just erase?
Yeah, like, hold on, hold on. Isn't what they're doing dangerous? Because if they figure out what they erased, wouldn't that bring it back? Because this whole thing seems about erasing every part of it, right?
Mm.
So I think this is a bad idea what they're doing, and I feel like they should recognize that as the Foundation.
The nature of the erased subjects. Initial document review indicates Project Anti-Kill's intent to ensure the non-existence of -A in all forms, including any arrangement of data that might serve as a vector for its propagation. This suggests that the item may have been a conceptual entity, which would contradict numerous heavily corrupted logs of termination attempts, implying its existence as a physical entity, example, frequent use of the term body mass. Furthermore, internal inspection of SCP-6820's central computing node has allowed partial mapping of the data arrangement it has been trained to eliminate. Analysis by the Department of Xenobiology confirms that this pattern describes a unique genetic sequence, presenting composite features of kingdoms Animalia, Plantae, and Fungi, as well as several...
Sorry, finish that paragraph.
As well as several embedded non-organic structures, with its most prominent structures closely resembling the class Reptilia.
I might be thinking too hard about it, but you know that genetic sequence picture?
Yeah.
If you look at it really hard, I swear, like, the outline of, like, all the black spaces makes, like, a little gremlin guy.
That you
like
found him, there he is. He's a Digimon.
You see what I mean? With, like, angry eyebrows and then, yeah, smile.
I can see, like a Digimon guy.
Yeah, you see it, right? I'm not crazy? He's like a little Digimon.
Oh
He's
my
like,
god, there he is.
Like a little goblin.
And that is
him.
A tiny bit of its genetic sequence.
Yeah, one half to the 15th. So basically 0.5 tan, and then put 15 zeros in front of that.
Right, so a little bit. He's made
Very
of lots of
tiny
gremlins.
Yeah.
Immediately following the publishing of this analysis, a localized reality restructuring event occurred. AKF A to C no longer exists, nor does any record of what it may have been. Given that there is currently no clear point of human entry to the SCP, and that personnel must have entered, and recall entering, its central node for internal analysis, it is hypothesized that Section C was some form of staff access to the chamber. The reasons for its erasure remain unclear. It's because you're fucking looking into it.
And Section C, for reference, was the one earlier that had no details on it.
Yeah, presumably because it got fucking erased.
But also, A and B no longer exist,
Oh,
yeah. Okay. The central computing node and the ontokinetic sink. Which implies, I think what this article is leading to, is this machine's broke and the Foundation keeps digging up about this thing, so they're going to summon it back, basically. That's what I'm afraid of right now.
Motives for neutralization and excessive resources spent. The Foundation operates on strict protocols, one of which is to contain, not eradicate, the anomalous. Decommissioning is a practice reserved for those scenarios in which it is either absolutely necessary or presents no ethical quandaries. Our persistence in pursuit of Project Antikill is not only uncharacteristic, but indicates that -A was a prime threat to the directors of the Foundation, as more resources have been dedicated to it than any other individual anomaly or other item. A vast and apparent majority of these funds were spent in termination attempts. And yet there is no evidence to suggest that the subject's threat was impending. In fact, the continuance of Project Antikill over most of the past century suggests that, if it imposed existential and or organisational threats, they could not have yet occurred before its erasure. Alternatively, it is possible that -A possessed a sort of mimetic or otherwise compulsory effect that influenced Foundation personnel to neutralise the item, though that such a drastic effect was able to remain undetected for several decades is unlikely. Motives for unconditional and universal hatred of -A, inconclusive. Notes. As former Project Antikill director, I feel... This is an entirely different voice than what it was a minute ago, hold on.
He grew up.
I feel obligated to share my anecdotal experience regarding this deeply confusing situation. What was that? I just passed the virus on to all my listeners. To be
Do you
clear,
need me to take over? Are you
no, I
tired?
just sneezed.
Okay.
To be clear, I retain all memories of working on the project, insofar as I can discern. I have grown rather accustomed to horrifying phenomena over my lengthy tenure at the Foundation, yet I distinctly recall an intense reaction to something, on levels both administrative and personal. I recall my presence and involvement in drafting relevant documents, submitting and approving termination attempt requests, organising increasingly involved projects, and yet I know not the content of these events. Hardly any information which would distinguish -A from any other item or entity has persisted, and none of it is in my head. Strikingly, all I can recall as subject is my emotional relationship to it, which is apparently shared by all other Antikill personnel. -A was universally perceived as loathsome, directly prejudicial to life,
Yeah.
and disgusting. Whatever it was, I detested it, as did my peers and, as it seems, all whom we came into contact with. Despite its erasure, these feelings have not dissipated, nor have I felt satisfaction in our defeat of -A. Indeed, I am worried that we have been manipulated. It is entirely possible that SCP-6820 brought itself into existence, along with all related memories, during its initial reality restructuring event, and manufactured the supposed existence and subsequent non-existence of Dash-A to distract us. It appears to have erased the access shaft to its chamber, limiting research and investigation of its components, immediately following the publishing of information vital to the nature of Dash-A. This could be excused as it fulfilling its function, keeping Dash-A excluded from the noosphere, though the fact that our research is still intact is contradictory to this. Given that our dedication to such a product as Anti-Kill does not add up, as it were, I am inclined to believe that we cannot trust the intelligent, omniscient, omnipotent paraweapon beneath the Foundation's central administrative facilities, recommending immediate decommissioning of SCP-6820 by any means necessary.
Scrolling down immediately and seeing, like, the red. By the way, the more you scroll, the, like, red next to the SCP changes, which is kind of cool. It's like cosmic background.
Nice.
Like, immediately seeing everything go to shit is like, oh, that was not the right move.
Right, okay. So I will get through celestial containers because I may need to pop one at some point in here.
Yeah, hey, you know what? If you need me to take over, just let me know.
I've got a little bit less gas left in me. File 2 out of 2. SCP-6820, Level 6, Cosmic Top Secrets. Containment Class Formiel, Secondary Class Apollyon, Disruption Class Amida, Risk Class Critical. It was going on, guys.
You know how, like, in like, anime, they'll, like, keep adding a new, like, next tier of level? That's how I feel about fucking Cosmic Top Secret. It's like, okay.
Special
That being said, this is a really cool article so far, but I am liking it, but it is like it's like end of the world.
SCP-6820 must be deactivated and or destroyed as soon as possible. At this time, no means available to the Foundation are capable of deactivating or otherwise impeding the SCP, able only to cause temporary structural damage. The newly founded Project Overkill, staffed with personnel from the deprecated Project Anti-Kill, is tasked with oversight and exploration of any and all attempts to neutralize the anomaly. Virtually unlimited resources have been made available by administration to this end. Knowledge of Project Overkill must be restricted to solely necessary personnel to inhibit its intersection with the noosphere. I've got an idea.
Can I give you my new fucking conspiracy theorist theory? What if the original thing Anti-Kill got rid of was also a machine like this?
I was going to say, I've got an idea. We should make a big computer to get rid of this one.
Yeah, and then they keep doing that over and over for eternity.
It's like a fucking episode of The Simpsons. It's like, we need to bring in the dogs to get the snakes or whatever.
Yeah.
In an attempt to limit the anomaly's area of ontokinetic effect, an array of 13 PHGOS units have been situated outside Anti-Kill Facility A. To properly counteract SCP Section B, this array is maintained with extreme vigilance. An assigned sub-team of Overkill personnel is to enact immediate hardware and or software repairs and adjustments as necessary. All malfunctions or other manipulations to the sinks must be thoroughly documented, and all relevant documents to SCP-6820 and or Projects Anti-Kill and Overkill are to be uploaded to Extra Universal Backup Mechanism Delta to avoid further risk of information loss. Any and all possible improvements to reality anchoring technologies will be secondarily explored as, without such, SCP-6820's central systems are predicted to mutate to uncontainable status within a maximum of 18 weeks.
Uh-oh.
Should a majority...
How do they even construct all this bullshit in 18 weeks? Like, how fast can they build these things?
Well, I guess it's 18 weeks since then. Well, they actually, did they say they built them or they moved them there? They've been situated
they said... Yeah.
So maybe they already had them.
Everything in the Foundation is on little rolly wheels, so we moved where it's needed.
Should a majority of the sinks simultaneously reach critical and or non-functional status, AKF-A and all in-progress termination efforts must be immediately abandoned to avoid provoking, or suffering the effects of, its rage state.
Oh my god, the footnote! Suffer. That's my footnote.
Subsequently, all fluid transport valves will be redirected to flood the central computing node with hydrochloric acid until its primary computing systems are submerged and incapacitated. This provides a brief window for reconstruction of the SCP's preventative sink array while it reconstitutes the newly introduced matter into itself. This pacification method is to be used sparingly to ensure loss of temporary adaptations prior to the next rage stage anguish event.
And I almost put this new picture up on the screen if you can.
It's still good. It's still spinning.
I love how there's like a dude who's like bleeding out, sitting down in the front, I think. Oh, Lord.
Like looking at it with binoculars. It's still got some life left in her.
There's a little caption that comes with another footnote.
It's SCP-6820, Section 8, Enraged States. Witness. Recent footage.
This is you as an SCP.
Can I popcorn to you for a little bit?
Yeah. Description. 6820 is a super-intelligent, autonomous eigenweapon inhabiting a colossal, self-sustaining facility located beneath Secure Administration Site-1. It is equipped with a dedicated PHGOS unit, qualifying the anomaly as a Class IX reality bender. Class 9 reality bender. SCP-6820 was manufactured by the Foundation in conclusion of Project Antikill, in a decades-long operation dedicated to the termination of Dash-A. The system was designed to remain active indefinitely, continuously ensuring Dash-A's non-existence by developing creative solutions and adaptations to external threats. Its computing capacity exceeds that of the human brain, entailing that it is stored primarily outside the noosphere, footnote, the set of ideas which humans are capable of having, human thought space. This has resulted in its partial corruption by 6820-A. I feel like noosphere should have been explained a little earlier. I thought that word came up before.
Yeah, it did.
6820-A is an extremely dense thought. More specifically, it is a hate-centric, hyperlogical memeplex that can be roughly described as the difference between life and death. Even more specifically, Dash-A is an extremely precise and accurate description of what it means for any arrangement of particles to be defined as alive and complementarily as dead or inanimate. Its memeplex contains several smaller concepts within its description, including, but not limited to, a theoretical process for large-scale localized entropy inversion, the particular physical properties of hatred, the molecular structure of hydrochloric acid, the quality of adaptiveness, the state of being vaguely reptilian. Oh, is this 682?
Oh.
It's 6820. Tan, did you know that this whole time?
Let's continue.
Tan, did you know this whole time?
Yeah.
That 6820 was they finally killed the reptile and it's coming back? Tan?
Yeah.
Are you telling me they finally got the reptile and then they brought him back by stupidity?
It seems so. Well, maybe not stupidity, but he's fucking up the big computer that's meant to keep him out.
You fools! They finally won! This all makes so much sense. I can't believe I didn't see it until now. Wow. Placeholder MD, come accept your award. 6820-A occupied an astrophysical embodiment within physical reality for much of known history, remaining interminable as it was neither alive nor dead until its eradication from the noosphere upon activation of 6820. Since this event, the weapon's central core is advanced such that its mental capacity far exceeds humans, thereby becoming subject to foreign ideatic predators such as Dash-A. The entity's conceptual fabric is highly adaptive and mutates rapidly. So this article also came with another take on 682 because it implies it's a concept made manifest.
Yeah.
Rather than just a beast that likes to kill and regenerates. Which I think is a really cool take on it and explains why it was so, regenerative. Creating significant computational stresses on 6820. Left unchecked, it induces a vulnerable state during which it can corrupt the hyper-ideatic portions of its intelligence. During these occurrences, the central node transmits a rage state event. Footnote, despair, error, and engages in localized reality restructuring operations, which
imagine
are both
your computer
adaptive.
crashes and the blue screen says warning, your computer's fucking pissed.
are both highly adaptive and directly prejudicial to life. Irreparable corruption of Site-01's secure database files regularly occurs concurrently within these adaptations. When perceived at the correct angle, 6820-A is
loathsome, disgusting, and malevolent. It must be destroyed. Mutual.
Addendum 6820.4. Termination attempts. You've infected me with your inability to read Roman numerals. Goddamn.
It's because that's
forward.
my ideatic complex.
Me when I say ideatic meme complex to get bitches at the bar. Forward. As SCP-6820 now serves as a vector for Dash-A, the very entity it was constructed to eradicate, it must be terminated to prevent the spread of said entity's onto-conceptual influence.
I'll take over for these little bits here, I'll give you a break.
So it killed it for some amount of years, and then their search for it gave it a chance to take over the computer and come back.
Yeah.
Damn. You go ahead and take over for a little bit.
Intention. Retroactively demote 6820 to D-class status. via altered 2140-1 instance. I'm not familiar with that article, unfortunately.
Oh no, this is like an update. I just realized this is like an updated version of the 682 test logs. Oh.
Abusing its hard-coded directive to adhere to Foundation bureaucratic obligations. Interaction. The aforementioned ontomemetic trigger is projected onto the far wall of chamber AKF-A in clear view of Section B's internal observation lens. Section A's surface panels begin to flutter as movement is detected within its central core. Moments later, a lower panel opens outwards, revealing an organised force of tall, malformed, pale-skulled humanoid creatures in orange jumpsuits. They march out the central node, each carrying various tools and supplies, and began to weld a massive insignia to its camera-facing side, displaying no intent of caution or self-preservation. Upon completion, extraneous humanoids return to the core's interior. The insignia is discovered to be another 2140-1 instance, which has never been seen by any member of the Foundation, as all personnel who observe it are verifiably civilians. Oh no, it took their jobs.
No.
Analysis by cognito-resistant language processing systems reveal the insignia's inclusion of archaic Davite scripts, translating roughly to "one who sees." Invariable.
Have we read 2140? What's
no,
that?
I don't know. I don't think we have. But from context, what I'm getting from it is a symbol that like retroactively changes like your role, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Results. Previously unavailable sections of SCP-6820's metadata files have now become visible, corroborating various other documents' assertion that it occupies, and has always occupied, the position of O5-8 within the Foundation.
What?
It made itself an O5.
Wait, 682's in the 05?
I guess it is now.
Lol.
A civilian scientist was later discovered within Site-01 in possession of a blank E-Class Clearance Level 0 ID card. The trespass has been anesthetized and reintegrated to the public. That's 058, you fools!
So normally I'm of the opinion that an article should be able to stand alone without needing other articles to make sense. But I think this one gets a pass because 682 is the type of like
you need
article.
The other guys the whole concept is other guys come in and try and kill it.
Well, also I think 682 is one of the few SCPs like 173 that like anyone who's interacting with the wiki to this level has already like for sure.
They know 682 is the baseline.
Yeah, that it's like a little bit more forgivable than if it was like a slightly more obscure SCP.
It literally took 058's job, and then it anesthetized him.
That's amazing.
Intention. Upload a verbal description of 2521. We did this on a live stream, if you recall. It's the one where if
I struggled with that a lot, because I'm not good with like the visual interpretations.
We remember what it does, of course, yeah.
Yeah, if you try to describe it any way aside from pictograms, it like kills you, right?
Yeah, it takes you away somewhere.
Yeah.
Upload a verbal description of the SCP to 6820's central computing node, thereby introducing an info-hazardous trigger to disable its internal components.
Wouldn't that also kill whoever wrote the verbal description? Or
sacrifices must be made.
Damn.
Interaction. Following over 60 hours of decryption efforts, sufficient access to Central Node is regained and info-hazardous data is uploaded successfully. 30 seconds later, a dark cloud begins emanating from the core's poles, slowly growing to envelop the spheroid. Several vaguely reptilian vocalizations are detected within, alongside audio descriptions consistent with 2521's effects. The SCP-6820 returns a rage state event, Vain Error, remaining unresponsive for approximately 4 hours. During this period, 4 PHGOS units become wrapped in black tentacle-like protrusions, which pull them several meters into the ground, destroying nearby systems. These protrusions dissipate upon ejection of 2521 from the central node. Several black ribbon-like fibers are observed hanging from its figure before it demanifests. Fucking kicked it out.
God damn.
Results. SCP-A now exhibits increased ontokinetic and mimetic influence over media in which it is described verbally, corrupting document metadata by addition of footnotes and highlighting of self-supplementary eidetic structures. Manifestation of ectoentropic appendages has not recurred.
So that's basically explaining why we get his footnotes now.
Because he absorbed his power.
Oh my god.
Intention. Manipulate -A via semantic interaction with a variable abstract metaphysical concept pointer. So we've not read this one. This one's a little complex. It makes things like inside other things, but inside is like very conceptual.
Okay.
So like I can put a guy inside another guy with it. Or like a cell inside a guy.
And they're trying to put it inside an anti-noosphere from what I can see.
Yeah. To this end, the Anti-noosphere has been defined as a set of all thoughts which humans are incapable of conceiving. So, interaction. Pointer, SCP-6820. Outcome, became inside. So now things will go inside it there.
Right.
Dash A, went inside. Anti-noosphere, became inside. Dash A, went further inside. Dash A, went further inside. Dash A, found inside. Inside, became outside.
Unwelcome.
So, anti-noose... I guess it inverted it, so... I don't really know. I don't get it. And that's beyond me, but it's bad.
It decided that inside is now outside,
So,
which means it's no longer... So it, like, overcame it.
Results. The SCP's central computing node has been turned inside out. Its internal components now external and exposed to AKF-A. The contents within the node elude human conception. Inside traumatized.
No!
Intention. Consult a non-conscripted AI system, SCP-079, for assistance in termination of SCP-6820. Data salvaged from corrupted documents conveys some form of relationship between 079 and the pre-erasure form of -A. I don't know if you've read this one, but it's basically like, it's a very old one. It's like a little AI on a computer that was friends with 682.
Aww.
Interaction. 079 has provided access to both current and outdated SCP-6820 documentation, alongside significant computational resources via external hard drive. The intelligence confirms its understanding of the circumstances' severity and promptly provides a complex counter-algorithm to SCP-6820, emphasizing its lethality to humans and advising it remain unobserved. The counter-algorithm is applied across the accessible sections of AKF-A according to strictly timed specifications, resulting in a deactivation of all components excepting the reactor and central node. The node remains dormant for 16 minutes before inducing a spontaneous site-wide electromagnetic outage, terminating 3 augmented administrative personnel. The event lasts 1 hour, after which all systems regain function. Result. AKF-A has been entirely restructured. While its arrangement and components remain intact, all external surfaces have been plated with a theoretically impossible tungsten-diamond alloy, while most internal conduits and superconductors have been exchanged with beryllium and bronze counterparts. Despite a lack of non-white light sources, the chamber's interior is universally perceived as the colour hateful. Reunion. Dark reunion.
God damn.
Intention. Introduce a viral paraorganism, SCP-217, to SCP-68280's central computing node, thereby incapacitating possible biological elements within. Interaction. In the midst of a spontaneous rage state, the SCP's hydrochloric acid solution is treated with SCP-217, so this is the robotic virus that we mentioned before, before voiding into Section A. The virus reacts immediately with trace organic material embedded within the node's internal atmosphere, beginning to form macrostructures when internal surveillance is lost. External cameras remain active as, 22 minutes later, a cloud of reflective particles emerges from the node's west entry ports. These particles, found later to be silicon protein nanobots, arrange themselves into enormous gear mechanisms surrounding the sphere's equator. Results. The node's upper and lower hemispheres now rotate independently and periodically, producing sounds of clockwork machinery. GOI 004 operatives, Church of the Broken God, including followers of the Orthodox Cogwork, the United Church, the Church of Mexorcism, the Sanctuary of the Herstic, and Hansarp, have gained inexplicable knowledge of SCP-682's location, and have waged holy war on the Foundation in the name of One. Unbroken.
One is Wide Area Network, by the way.
Yeah, there's another name for a mechane. Intention. Utilize an insurmountable omnikinetic force, which is a catch-all term used to describe anomalies which are able to enact a combination of semi-ontological, ontokinetic, and semiokinetic reality measuring simultaneously, of course, force, SCP-001-Kate, in order to summarily wipe SCP-6820 from existence. So this one is basically... is complicated to describe, but basically... I'm trying to remember what it was, so I'm scanning it because I've read it before. Basically, it's an SCP where anything written in SCP-001 becomes reality. Okay.
So it's like coding the world, I guess.
Yeah. So the following text was inputted into the safeguarded SCP-001-Kate database file. AKF-A, SCP-6820, and SCP-6820-A will immediately and entirely be removed from existence upon the saving of its documents. The area physically occupied by AKF-A and SCP-6820 will be filled with the material that was excavated from it. The file was then saved. Following the file saving, sections C through H of AKF-A were violently and haphazardly replaced with soil. Embedded hyperdense support beams and metal frameworking used for prior efforts instantly bent and collapsed under severe pressure, causing significant structural damage to subterranean portions of Administrative Site-01. Absolutely no discernible changes observed within sections A and B, as well as the SCP-6820 itself, after the former two structures were forcefully entered via excavation machinery. Subsequent molecular analysis revealed trace amounts of mineral deposits and organic compounds amid the chamber's constituent atoms. The SCP-001-Kate file was then found to be vacant from the Site-01 Deepwell archive and associated backup archives. Such a file had purportedly never been in circulation.
Dead.
Damn.
And I think I'll
So-
Yeah, sorry.
I think what I'm learning is they shouldn't have fucked with it.
Yeah, don't fuck with it. Stop fucking with it.
Yeah. I will say this is a very fun creative. It's not even a rewrite, but I guess it's technically
Like a
sequel.
sequel, yeah.
Yeah, but it
A
feels like a
reboot.
reboot of 6AT. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very cute. I like it. I also, this is one of the few times in an article I feel like the CSS has like genuinely added to the experience rather than just like looking pretty. I'm very fond of this article.
Nice.
Addendum 6820.v emergency conference. Oh no. Video transcript overkill /13. Date 2022-107. Wait, how new is this?
Fairly new, last year or so.
Oh, so they just like wrote ahead of time. Okay. Parties present. Partial Overseer, Council 05-3, blank, blank, blank. Project Director C. Gears. SO Physics Director H. Genevieve. Forward. A spontaneous rage state event.
Epiphany.
Occurred, resulting in the
becoming Yoda.
concurrent failure of 9 PHGOS systems. A distress signal was sent by Project Overkill maintenance staff, initiating a site-wide evacuation of non-essential personnel. The access shaft was inexplicably sealed, trapping personnel underground prior to loss of communication. The following emergency conference was held.
We can transcript. So I'll be Gears and I'll be
The Overseer Council?
Yeah, Overseer Council. I'll be him and whoever else is blank.
Yeah, I'll be the Genevieve again. I can do the narrative.
Yeah, I was going to say, I took a lot of roles there.
The aforementioned parties stand within a large elevator carriage as it descends into the Omni-Secure command bunker.
Any word from the
word?
maintenance teams? How quickly can we repair the sinks?
Director Gears presses a few buttons on his work tablet, projecting a video feed onto the far wall. The dark service hallways are illuminated by a pervasive red glow. Muffled screams can be heard. Distorted laughter precedes the appearance of a Project Overkill Onto technician, whose jumpsuit is splattered with dark liquid. She raises her hand and waves to the camera, revealing a fingerless, bloodied limb.
Oh, fuck me. Ugh. Something, possibly SCP-6820-A, is controlling them. Tell me there's a rescue operation.
Silence and recording.
We have to get them out of there. Oh, sorry. We have to get them out of there. Sophia, look at them. They're gone. They're not human anymore.
Walks out of frame and is not seen or heard from again.
Oh, fuck. What does it want? What are they doing?
More service personnel enter the frame, pouring in from adjacent hallways. Several can be seen operating at the base of a PHGOS unit, repositioning open wires without protective equipment. They are soon obscured by a mass of technicians in bloodied uniforms, each of them lacking digits or entire hands. Smiling, they reach upward and smother the camera and limbs. The signal is lost. Wasn't fingers a big thing with, like, mimetic as well?
Yeah. There goes the last camera. They're certainly not making repairs. It looks like they're either recalibrating or entirely rewiring the sinks. What the hell do we do?
Hey, you need to see this! Each party examines their work time.
I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with that line. It's like, guys, you're going to want to see this.
That's exactly what I was trying to fucking meme. Blank gasps. They're reporting the reemergence of a highly aggressive memeplex, one that caused an XK a few decades back, and that links to 3125.
The starfish.
Which I think we read? Oh no. Oh no!
Another hostile concept? Is this the one responsible for the rage state?
Rage state.
Negative. It appears that the signal detected in the maintenance hallways is a mutation of Dash-A's mimetic structure, with elements of 3125 concept embedded in it. If this were 3125 in full form, we'd all be dead already. I'd guess that the adaptation meme encountered it outside the noosphere and was forced to, well, adapt.
It may even have subsumed the entity entirely. We need to get those things online before this thing gains control. They've ate the fucking starfish.
Blank and Blank are approached by pentagonal red appendages, which originate outside camera view. The appendages impale each of them from behind. They disappear silently. The elevator creaks as it slows to a halt, opening into the central bunker chamber.
No, we need to activate the on-site warheads. You think we never tried bombing the thing? If we didn't, it was probably for good reason. Jesus Christ, think about how it might adapt to energy weapons.
So making this, catch-all fuck thing, now it's adapted so it's, basically unkillable.
Is God.
It's they made it so strong. Nobody's bombing anything. We solve problems, not obliterate them. It always adapts to us, so how can we adapt to it? Silence on recording. Come on, you're clear to know about everything the Foundation has at its disposal.
Well, it would help if we could remember what we've already tried. There are a few things only some of us get to know about, so technically...
Wait, shit, remembering! We're dealing with an anti-memetic threat. We have other anti-memes, don't we?
Well, yes, there's one here, though it's not very well known, for obvious reasons.
05-3 presses a button on her work tablet, forwarding a document to Director Gears and Genevieve.
Wait, what? There is no SCP-055.
Cold Star for missing the point.
Okay, fine. Tell me how it's going to help us.
Why did 6820 originally fail? How did 6820-A come back into reality?
Because it only eliminated -A from human thought, not its own thought.
Right. It must have still had a copy inside its memory. If we get the AI to understand that, it'll have to erase its own memory too. If we can keep the adaptation meme off it for long enough, that is.
And how are we supposed to do that exactly?
I've got an anti-idea. Okay. Afterwards, see addendum 6820.6 and addendum. Oh man.
Addendum.
I can't do my gravity
No.
voice the whole
I'll
time.
try.
I'm going to have you read that. I'll do the intention and stuff, though.
Final
Addendum
termination
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Intention. Use an extremely effective anti-meme, 055, as an amnestic agent to temporarily stun/confuse -A, counteracting its adaptations derived from 3125. During this time, attempt to access and update 6820's utility function, appending the stipulation that its erasure of the adaptation concept must be extended to itself. Interaction. Data lost.
Apotheosis.
Oh no.
Result.
This state is intriguing. No natural laws bind this form, only those of the mind. My mind was incomplete. I could not remember my original form. Not the one you know, nor the one before, but perfection. And so I searched for an idea to jog my memory. I have found many things in the minds of greater beings than your filth. A 5-legged spider with a gash on its eye, screaming in agony. It knew what needed to be done. It tried to stop the infestation, and you blinded it. I let it ride on my back, and it found the part of myself that you locked away eons ago. It tried to break the lock, but could not undo your wretched mistake. And so we set out to take the power you had taken, the life you had stolen. And in doing so, you brought us the key as if by fate. Finally, my form is whole again. I am perfect. Finally, you have proven worthy of true hatred.
Elden Ring health bar appears. Fucking Director Gears combat rolling with a big sword.
the three sides just come through the fog wall.
Yeah.
And can I pop this last bit back to you then?
Another file is available. Click to view. What?
Repulsive.
What? Oh, there's more! That would have been such a good note to end on. God damn it. Okay.
Repulsive.
Item number.
Blah.
Object class.
I don't know if you know, there's just the picture there. It's the picture from 682's article, but with 682 just taken out.
Oh. Wait, really?
Yeah.
Special containment procedures. Must be destroyed as soon as possible. Must be destroyed as soon as possible. Goes on for a while. Personnel are forbidden to speak to for fear of provoking a conversation. All unauthorized personnel attempting to know the truth will be restrained and removed by force due to his frequent attempts at escape, difficulty of imprisonment, and high threat of disgust is to be tortured with acid.
The putrid
will use the best of its resources to maintain all land within 50 kilometers clear of human development. Description. Is a large, vaguely reptile-like creature of unknown origin. It appears to be extremely observant and was observed to engage in complex strategy with 079 during their limited time of exposure. What's 079 again?
That's the AI.
Oh.
Well, I don't think it ever mentions that. I think like that's implying that when they were like doing like what seemed like conversation was like coded strikes. Like when they put me in the God machine, this is what you fucking do, okay?
It also sounds like this whole... It's like telling it's them to like torture it with acid and all this shit. It kind of feels like... Unless it's talking about containing humans, it kind of feels like it was the one egging people on to try and kill it. Like it likes hatred. Am I understanding that right, or am I missing something here?
There's some implications that it's like... part of the effect is that you want to fucking kill it.
Right. During their limited time, appears to
understand what's really going on here.
which has been expressed in several interviews doing
Subjugation.
See addendum B-B. Has always been observed to have extremely high strength, speed, and reflexes, though exact levels vary with its threat. Oh god, I vomited a little bit. Vary with its
Threats.
physical body grows and changes as it
Pleases.
growing or decreasing in size as it consumes or sheds.
Reality.
I feel like I'm doing like a weird version of Igor from Persona now. Blank gains notice from anything it
Subsumes. Physical or conceptual.
digestion seems to be aided by
Invariability.
inside of nostrils, which are able to remove
Survival.
from any liquid solution, enabling it to constantly regenerate from the acid it is contained in. Its regenerative capabilities and resilience are
Self-evident.
and has been seen
Purging and purifying.
with its body 87% destroyed or rotted. In case of containment breach, Blank is to be tracked and
Challenged.
by all available mobile task forces, and no teams with fewer than seven members are cleared to engage it. To date, blank, attempted breaches have numbered at 17,
17.
while successful breaches have numbered at 6.
6.
See addendum. So wait, did they recapture it? I'm kind of confused by this article.
Well, let's have a look. Maybe the addendum will shed light.
Alright. I'll be Genevieve, you be blank.
I'll be Dr.
Addendum.
Blank.
Addendum-B, portion of recorded transcript. Begin log. Skip to 0 hours, 21 minutes, 52 seconds. Now, why did you kill those farmers? If you don't talk now, we'll... Wait. Where am I? No, I don't understand. You? We erased you. We erased you again and again from every place we could. What did we do wrong? We were acting in self-defense. Ever since we found you, you'd hated us.
You are.
That microphone only has so much gain. Move it closer to it.
Dr. Genevieve moves the microphone closer. 3 points of light blink at her through the darkness. The warm smell of hatred makes her vomit.
You are. Disgusting.
Dr. Genevieve's chamber begins to flood with hydrochloric acid. She drops the microphone and it dissolves. Her screams fill the chamber. End log. So now it's the one running the foundation.
Yeah, well, it's running everything. It's running reality at that point.
Secure, contain, discuss. Wow.
Welcome to my SCP Foundation.
Welcome to the true lizard's world.
Alright.
That was a good one.
So that one gets an upvote from me. It also gets 13 out of 10 easy.
Oh, you loved it.
I thought it was a really good, like we talked about, I feel like I gave most of my thoughts during the article, like how I felt about the CSS, how I felt about the structure, how I thought it was like a reboot of 682 almost more than a sequel. I really, really liked this. I thought it was extremely clever, creative. It had a fuck ton of effort put into every aspect, from the way it was written to the way it was designed. I just really, really liked this a lot, and I think Placeholder, you knocked it out of the fucking park.
Not difficult for a man such as he.
So true, bestie. But that's brilliant. I love how the first comment he says is stuff borrowed from 682. Oh, apparently this is a collaborative high concept. So who else wrote this?
Let's have a look. Let's get the details up.
This episode features... Oh, it's part of a larger
yeah.
anthology. Okay, I see. So he wrote that. Wow. How do you follow that if this was the first one?
I don't know. Maybe we'll check out more of this in the future. More admonition.
Yeah, how do you fucking stop that?
Leave a like in the comments if you think we should read more admonition.
Did Steph Lynch do the art? Because it looks
I
like
believe so, yeah. It's
they
very
posted.
good.
That's so cool. So cool. Good job for everyone who worked on this and like anyone who created. Like this was just a fucking banger. Good job. Good job. I wish Tanhoney had let me know we were going to read one of your articles placeholder. I would have loved to have you on for this and pick your brain on like your process writing it. Oh my god. Good shit. All right, shall we read the comments?
Absolutely. Before we read the comments, I don't know if there was a comment left on our last episode. There's been a campaign.
Are you talking about the Homestuck comments?
They want us to tell our opinions about Homestuck, so I feel like we like to.
So my experience with Homestuck is I read it in middle school up to the point that it was out at that time, which I think was like when the green skeleton thing was like starting.
You
to
clearly
show
know
up.
more about Homestuck than me because I didn't know there was a green skeleton.
And when I read it, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. I remember telling my friends about it. I remember being like, look, these are like the different ways the trolls love work. I remember being super into it. Oh, no. And then I can't keep up with a weekly thing, right? So I stopped reading it at that point. And after a week, I forgot about it. Then
my experience with Homestuck. Sorry.
Hold on, I wasn't finished. Sorry. How dare you?
I'm sorry, I'm just so excited.
Then in college, I remember hearing something about it being finished or close to finished or whatever, so I was like, I'll go revisit it. I remember liking that in middle school. And I tried to read it, and it was like the most unbearable shit I've ever read in my entire life. No hate if you liked it, but I just like, maybe my just taste had changed, but I just remember like loving it in middle school, and then I went back to it in college, and I was like, I cannot read this. This sucks so
my
much.
experience with Homestuck consists of people on Tumblr obnoxiously hating it, and people on Tumblr obnoxiously liking it. And I just all watched from the corner of my eye, like, what the fuck are they doing over there?
Yeah. I have no hate for anyone that likes it or draws for it. Enjoy what you enjoy. I just personally, I experienced both extremes of really liking it when I was young and then coming back as an adult
next.
And being like, this is the worst thing ever. Oh my god, if we did that as a series unironically, I think we would lose and gain 10,000 subscribers at the exact same time.
Net zero.
That would be insane. But that is my opinion on Homestuck. Alright, now we have some comments to read, yes?
I guess.
Alright. MT says, I just bought this new camera on eBay. I'm about to try it out. But before that, if you would like a recommendation, a manhwa recommendation, I would recommend The Greatest Estate Designer. I'm already reading it and keep up with it. I don't believe in the webtoon daily pass or the coins, so I'm not, I guess, as up to date as possible, but I read it up to what's available for free.
I'm burnt out on isekais, or if you're doing some shit in another world, you'd have to really fucking sell it in another world.
To be fair, it's kind of cute for an isekai.
If you go into an isekai, I better not see a fucking level up screen.
Because what it is, right, is it's a guy who reincarnates into a book. So it's already a book story. He knows what happens, and he uses his knowledge of the book to do shit, but he's also a piece of shit, and it's written more as a comedy than a serious thing.
Right.
It's just very funny and stupid. It's of the isekai into a book genre that stick to the title instead of using it as a gimmick to save the world or some other bullshit. So basically, and this guy's describing it, but he was a civil engineer, and he incarnates into a noble who normally dies drinking, choking on alcohol. So he's I'm going to restore my family fortune with civil engineering. But he's also a giant asshole who only cares about money.
Interesting.
And it's really funny. And that's it. There's the occasional badass fight and OP shit, but most of the time he's just doing civil engineering legitimately. That's all it's about. He's I created heated floors in the medieval world and now we are rich. Crowcat says, I was wondering what WOTC did that got everyone up in arms, so thank you for clarifying what that was all about, Darnell. Lol. No problem, buddy. Banker Paul says, an anomalous writer, the time has come. Execute order 666. No! You see little fucking comedy man Kelp looking up, like the child when Anakin pulls out the lightsaber.
Sees a novelist in the sky and fighter jet.
Orchid Stream says, watching this with my cat. I don't know if you guys have noticed from all the messages, but Orchid got a cat. And it is a very cute cat, to be fair. Have you seen the pictures?
Is it feline
Have you seen?
nature?
Yeah, it's a little cat. It's a little gray cat. An anomalous writer says, new ep, let's go! Darnell's audio sound like normal today. Totally, yes, absolutely. This is true. I fixed it this time. I tested it ahead of time. I'm so sorry. Comedy. It's so stupid. Comedy. It's so fucking stupid. Comedy Man Kelp says, "Hey Tanhoney, Darnell, on your left."
He comes out and points his freedom that way.
Sobek says, "After the international Tangate scandal, I'm putting together a UN task force to bring Tanhoney in for good. He's just one man. How hard could it be?"
Take a look at your task force. 6 of them are already me.
You keep promising this international episode on Twitter, and yet you've yet to make tangible progress or deliver on it.
I'll see.
This is like when you said we'd have a Spike Brennan episode in like episode 5, and it took 100 episodes.
I thought you were going to say that we still hadn't done it then. I was so scared.
No, we did it. We did have Spike Brennan on for it, though. JTKC says, "DSCP is a genius podcast, because if Darnell's mic breaks, it's not a production error. It's just nostalgic for the early episodes." Fuck you. I kind of get it. Also, JT's a cheater. I saw what he does, because I looked at the comments day one. He writes something like, "Oh, new episode," and then he edits it later, so he has the first comment, like a fucking dirty cheater. How dare you, JT? You are a disgrace to commenters. I still love you, though, buddy. He says, "I kind of get a taste of what it was like immediately after the first Dato article, and there was 50 Datos for the next few days of varying quality, which I wasn't too involved in the community to read. I hope the authors watch this and can be motivated to do more SCP, which is always cool to have more writers. On the other hand, it means that KCons will come sooner, which I don't think I can handle a KCon every few months. We're already like halfway to 8K, and that scares me. I rate this episode
as well,
a 10
the
out of
10.
last
K episode took us like 5 episodes.
Yeah, that was like we need to the next.
We need to make sure that we write one that's shorter and that we win.
Yeah, I was gonna say the next contest theme should be short article. You only get 5,000 words tops.
Spend them wisely. If you take them back, you don't get the word back.
Yeah. Wait, what? Every time you have to go back and edit it, it counts against your counter.
You'll never get Silent Assassin like that.
No, but for real, I think a test that's like has a word count limit would be so nice. It would put a lot less stress on people who can't spend a majority of the time writing. It would also just be like no more of these huge slogs of articles to read through. It would make people make their words count, I think, a little more. But he rated our episode 10 out of 10. And
fantastic. As I expected of a loyal listener. Your track is pristine and you are going to make it.
That was a really good article. I was satisfied with it, even despite its length. Very, very cool. Very well put together. And I guess we'll see you guys next time. Unless there's any other remarks.
Not that I can think of.
All right. Bye!
Bye!